Hello and welcome to Authors Roundtable, a non-scripted chat for authors by authors. I'm Sharon Lopez, and today I'm with Maricel Jimènez, author of The Adventures of Pixie Piper, A Fairy's Breath. This is a children's story that can be found on Amazon.com in both Kindle and paperback forms. And Maricel, you recently had some exciting news regarding another place where your book can be found?
Yes. Recently they have it at Barnes and Noble. So I'm very excited about that. Just discovered that the other day. Didn't know anything. So that's a new place you can get it.
That is awesome news. Barnes and Noble, that's respectable. That's awesome.
Yes, I know. I'm very
Congratulations.
excited.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
So, how did you get started in writing?
Well, that's a good question. Because I kind of have written since before I could write, as I say. I
Okay.
used to hang around with a notebook and I would doodle and dribble, like, just scribble and pretend that I was writing. And I
Nice.
didn't know how to write. So I'm sure I had a story. I just don't remember it.
Well, that sounds really, really good.
Yeah. After that, I kind of started writing journals, diaries, and I have a lot of those, and that's where I started. And then from that, I did short stories and obviously reading a lot. And from there, I just decided one day I would start writing books. So
Th-
I have now, this is actually my second book. The first one is unpublished.
Are there plans to publish it or?
Right now, no, not right
Okay.
now. It's still not even transcribed.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's in notepads.
Okay. Well, we have similar ways we started. I did journals as well, and went to short stories and stuff. Um, so
So how did you start writing books?
um, I wrote my first one actually in 1995.
Okay.
That was my very first book. That one is Life is Funny That Way. Um,
Okay.
that's actually the second one I got published last year.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Uh, so, um, okay, so The Adventures of Pixie Piper, I noticed that it is a first in a series.
Yes. I'm working on book 2 right now.
Okay, so that's your current project.
Yes, that is my current project. It's going well, but as usual, I do change my mind a lot when I'm writing.
I think
That's
that's all of us.
So right now I'm like, oh my God, I want to go back to something I did, and well, but we're writing. I have like a hundred pages
Nice.
by hand though, so I do write by hand at first.
You
So
do.
I do. I find it very therapeutic to use the pen and paper.
That's really nice. Yeah, I do all mine on the computer. I can't read my writing, so
That does happen to me. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, what did I write? What it says. Yeah, that's
uh,
bad. But at least I can take the notebook wherever I want to go. And like if I'm waiting somewhere, I can write a little bit. And
very true. Very true.
I don't have a laptop. They give me
Yeah.
carpal tunnel. It's bad for me.
Yeah, a little secret about me, laptops and I don't get along. The keyboards are too close to the little mouse pads and I tend to hit that and then I'm really messed up.
Oh, yeah, that happens to me a lot too. Oh God, it's horrible.
Yeah.
Things start happening without my control.
Yeah, I like my desktop, so.
Me too.
All right, so do you have a favorite character in one of your books, somebody else's book, that could that you could just say this is a favorite character of mine?
Gosh, I don't have a favorite character, I think. I love a lot of characters that I've read that I'm really fond of. In my own book, I guess, I really like the fairy godfather because I think he's funny. So I'm very fond of him because I see him like a grandpa sort of guy. Maybe I'm just emotionally attached to him.
Is he based off of somebody you might know, or?
I think he's a collective sort of grandfather figure, maybe archetypal. It's not anyone in particular. It's not anyone in particular, but I do remember my grandfathers with a lot of fondness. So, yes, there might be a subconscious connection.
All right. So, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay. No, I was going to say about other books. I don't know. I really don't know. There's a lot of good characters in all the books.
So, do you have any inspirations as far as your writing goes? Is there any place that you gather your inspiration from?
Yes. I gather my inspiration a lot from myth legends. I'm writing about fairies, so I do a lot of research on fairy lore and all these things so that I can like weave that into the writing. I also do get inspired by nature and plants and things like that, and you see that in the book. It's very nature oriented, I guess. And yeah, that inspires me a lot, and the imagery that I see in my head when I'm writing, I'm inspired by that, by the colors and the things that I imagine, and so I mix that with the myth. It's hard to explain.
No, you're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you.
So, in your opinion, what is the best part of being a writer?
Oh, I get to have all these adventures that I get to come up with all the stuff that's going to happen, and sort of my little world. It's like when you build your Lego world, and you have this, and you can control it, and this is what's going to happen, and I'm like my own little goddess. But also, I don't have absolute control because it gets to a point where, wait, no, this doesn't make any sense. So I do lose some control, but I love that I get to have all these adventures that I wouldn't have in real life.
Right.
I'm very fond of fantasy.
Let's see. Do you have any advice for anyone that's like writing, that wants to either become published, or someone that maybe has become, just published but wants to go to that next level?
Okay. Yes, I would say definitely keep writing. Don't be afraid to rewrite or edit, because I think that's very apprehensive sometimes. You write your draft and then you think, oh my God, I have to rewrite all this stuff, and it gets a little intimidating.
Yeah.
But once you got to tackle it, it happens, and it actually turns out really nice. So I'd say that don't be afraid of rewriting and editing, and really keep writing, and really consider the self-publishing route if you feel your book is ready. It's very frustrating to wait for the traditional method of publication.
I agree. Yeah, I like the whole self-published route. You kind of have a little more control of how things go and how it looks and what you do with it.
I'm very happy so far. It's wonderful. Because then it's my decision, and it's my book,
right,
with the art that I wanted and everything. I think it's very good. You know, the only dangerous part I think is you really need to have good proofreaders.
Yes.
Because yes, the typos are always skipped by you, and just really just if you feel like you're ready, your book is ready, then go for it.
Now, do you have a professional you use? Do you use trusted friends, family, or do you do your own editing?
On this book, I did my own editing. I have done editing for other people before, but in the end, for the proofreading, I did have to ask my family, who has some of them have very keen eye for typos, to help me out because I missed, even though I did like 4 or 5 proofreads myself, that I always skip something. And but I do think I might need a little bit of a professional editor for book 2. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, I tend to do my own to start, use editing software, and then uh, go to trusted friends and family. Um, I don't know the professional route. I may explore it at some point. Right now, I haven't. Um,
It would make me a little nervous.
yeah, I think that's what it is. I think
Like, what
that's
if
what
they
it is.
want me to change the whole thing? I'm thinking, no.
Exactly. You know, I mean, once you write something, you know, and it's yours, and it's like a little baby of yours, and you know, you don't want to mess with that. That's your creation.
Agreed. Yes. So I'm not sure. I do think that I would need critical eye so that I have continue, like a continuation from the first book and the second book, and that I don't skip out on certain details or something, and that
Right.
kind of accuracy, I guess.
Yeah. I totally understand what you're saying.
But I would be very nervous about letting someone hack away at the manuscript.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what I'll do. I might end up editing it myself and getting maybe some better readers, maybe other writers who can help out because they have good perspective, I think, since
Yeah.
they're doing it themselves.
Yeah, I've met lots of authors recently that I wouldn't mind uh, giving my work to. Yeah, I agree with the whole writers have a totally different perspective, and they can kind of understand where you're coming from and get a feel right away for what you're trying to put out there.
Right. And it's not as messy. It's more like, like the editor will, make notes on all your manuscript. It would be more like a constructive criticism
Right,
sort of exchange, like maybe you should describe this scene better, or maybe you shouldn't reveal this so quickly and you should, spread that out, or, something like that,
right.
rather than, oh no, I don't know. I really don't know how the professional editing would go. So yeah, I would be very nervous.
Yeah, me too. So, is there a plan for how many of the adventures of Pixie Piper? I mean, do you have a set in your mind? Okay, this is how many books I'm going to do with this series, or are you just running with it?
I'm kind of running with it, but I don't want to get stuck writing like a forever series.
Right.
So I would between 3 and 5 books. I wouldn't know just yet, but no more than 5. Honestly, I don't want to. I have all these books in my head I want to write, so and they're different. They're all about different stuff. So I don't want to get stuck writing about the same thing forever.
Are you going to stick with the children's book genre, or do you have other projects in mind that may stray from that?
So far, I want to do a continue with middle grade. I have a lot of stories in my head that are middle grade. I
Okay.
do have a young adult head in my book in my head. I'm sorry, um, and that will be sounds pretty cool in my head. That I
Yeah.
don't know because those are projects that are still on the list of projects in the future.
Right.
So, but yes, I do intend to eventually wander away from it and explore young adult, perhaps historical fiction.
Oh, nice, nice.
I love historical fiction. I do. But I'm weary of it because I'm a perfectionist, so I would want it to be like very accurate historically. So I know that there's a lot of research involved.
Lots of research.
Yeah, so I would, that's like a project I would do later. I have 2 young kids now, so maybe later when the kids are off out of school and I can like really concentrate on that, on the research. But yes.
Nice. All right. Well, I thank you for being with me today. Thanks all to you that are listening to the Authors Roundtable, and I look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you for having me. I'm very happy about this.